Nnamdi Kanu's challenge pointless, British Foreign Secretary says. We understand that the British High Court was to hear the case of Nnamdi Kanu in the court, and the family lawyer in the UK actually filed a challenging the Foreign Secretary for not doing anything about Nnamdi Kanu's release in Nigeria, and to look into it that Kanu is a citizen of United Kingdom, and this is a case of extrajudicial rendition and the kind of kidnap of and violation of human rights that's happening to Kanu. But the case had been heard. Let's hear a bit of a summary and what is to be done next. Let's see the response from the British Foreign Secretary that was challenged in the High Court. The hearing in the judicial review challenge against the Foreign Secretary brought on behalf of separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu took place on Tuesday at the Royal Court of Justice, London, United Kingdom. Politics Nigeria reports that Kanu is the British Nigerian leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, on an outlawed group that calls for self-determination for the southeast geopolitical zone. In June 2021, Kanu was arrested at an airport in Nairobi, Kenya, by security services and was detained in the East African country. He was then flown on a private jet to Nigeria, on a private plane to Nigeria. Now, for the past 18 months, he has been held in solitary confinement in a cell at the Department of State Services DSS headquarters in Abuja. Kanu had reportedly traveled to Kenya on his British passport. Since his detention in Nigeria, Kanu's family have been asking the British government to take steps to secure his release on the grounds there was no lawful basis for bringing him to Nigeria, and he was therefore subject to what they tag as extraordinary rendition. Kanu's family has also argued that his ongoing detention is arbitrary. However, the Foreign Secretary has to date failed to reach a firm view on whether Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition. The family's legal team brought the challenge on the basis that reaching a firm view is necessary to lawfully determine what steps should be taken to assist Kanu. During the hearing on Tuesday, Charlotte Kilroy Casey, acting for Kanu's brother Kingsley Kanonta Kanu, highlighted that the IPOB leader has been the victim of a brazen and violent extraordinary rendition. She stated that this is not the first time that the Nigerian government had tried to harm him. In September 2017, when he was at his home in Nigeria, the Nigerian military launched a violent raid on his house and killed 28 members of IPOB in the process. She cited a Nigerian court judgment in which the judge described the Nigerian government agent as setting out as pythons to terminate the life of Kanu. She then outlined the evidence that Kanu has been subject to extraordinary rendition, noting that the Nigerian government itself has admitted in domestic proceedings that it transferred Kanu to Nigeria without any lawful warrant for arrest nor any extradition process. Moreover, the Nigerian Court of Appeal ruled that Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition, a position she said the Federal Court of Nigeria subsequently adopted. She explained that given the danger Kanu faces from the Muhammadu Buhari administration, it is incumbent on British government to assist him. She referred the court to domestic policies that evidence a clear acceptance by the British government that it has a role in protecting its citizens abroad, where there is evidence of a miscarriage of justice and various instances in which the British government has publicly condemned the actions of other states or called for the release of its citizens where they have been arbitrarily detained abroad. She argued that the evidence of Kanu's rendition has been clear and overwhelming for some time. In response, Sir James Casey acting on behalf of the Foreign Secretary, stated that reaching a firm view on whether Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition was a matter of foreign policy in which the courts must not interfere. He added that there was no legal basis for the court to require the Foreign Secretary to reach a view and that Kanu's challenge was pointless. Following the hearing, the parties are now waiting for the court to provide its ruling. Now, reflecting on the hearing, Kingsley Kanu, who brought the challenge, said it is well known that the Nigerian courts are heavily influenced by the Nigerian government. However, they have been brave enough to take a firm stand and rule that my brother was subject to extraordinary rendition at the hands of the Nigerian government. Now, if the Nigerian courts can do this, it is not clear to me what further evidence the British government needs to reach a firm view. I hope that the UK court will now require the Foreign Secretary to reach a firm view. Shirin Maka, one of the solicitors representing Kanu, said Kanu is a British citizen who has been subject to one of the most serious and egregious breaches of human rights. The government's position in refusing to reach a view on whether he has been subject to extraordinary rendition amounts to a refusal to condemn this breach. Now, if the courts allow the British government to take this position, this sets a deeply troubling and dangerous precedent for any British citizen who might find themselves at risk abroad. Kanu's family is represented by John Halford and Shiri Maka of Bindmans LLP, together with Charlotte Kilroy, KC of Blackstone Chambers, and Tatiana Itwell of Doughty Street Chambers. Wow. So the case has been heard now on Tuesday as planned. That was on the 15th of November 2022. And the case has been brought, before the British High Court, and all evidence put down by the family lawyer from Kanu's family in the UK. But now what I'm saying is that reaching a firm view or challenging the Foreign Secretary to reach a firm view on this matter is a matter of law and not an issue that the court will meddle with. All right, that is the argument from the lawyer representing the UK or the British Foreign Secretary. So now the case has been heard, and what I'm waiting for now is the ruling from the court whether the Foreign Secretary should go ahead and reach a firm view and then intervene to secure Kanu's release or not. But then the family lawyer from the Kanu's family in the UK has also stated that if they don't do this now, this will set a very bad precedent, going forward. It means that any British national that finds himself in this kind of condition abroad, that the government will absorb itself and will not do anything to rescue such person. And that is not fair. All right. So now we are waiting for the final ruling from the court. When that comes, we will also share with everyone. But the fact here is this. I know British people that are doing this to Kanu because, one, Kanu holds dual citizenship. I don't even think he holds British and Nigerian citizenship anymore. I think he tore his passport. I don't know. All right. But he went to he went to Kenya as a British citizen with British passport. He was kidnapped and sent back to Nigeria as a British citizen. But the only reason UK is doing this is because this man wears a black skin. If you take a British national like this, a white man, a correct British white man like this, the British will come for you and you will release him in less than 24 hours. That is the truth. So they are doing this to Kanu because Kanu is a black man. That even if he's carrying British passport, he's still a black man. And that is why they are dilly-dallying like this and doing back row, not wanting to be involved. And again, they also don't want to get into a big issue with Nigeria because of the economic benefits they are getting from Nigeria. The more Nigeria continue to be in this kind of turmoil, the better for them. These people are very cunning, I tell you. They are very, 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 very cunning. No, they used to ask people in the UK. That is why no matter how you migrate, try to have a home base in your home country. Because the British people, they will ask you, where are you from? And you say you are a British, just because you are carrying a British passport. But when they look at your skin is not white. And so the next question they'll ask you is, but where are you originally from? Then you begin to know that they know you are not one of them, just by the color of your skin. And they want you to identify with where you came from, because they don't really want you in that place, even if you are carrying their British passport. So please, I tell everybody that is jackpying that no matter how you jackpot, try and find a way to form, to identify with your root and form a base in your country. Because when all chips are down, your country is where you fall back to. Somebody is saying something here. You people should have known that the British and other foreign powers doesn't want stability in Africa. And in the case of Nigeria, they support the northern hegemony on Nigeria, making it very, very difficult for this part of Africa to develop. Somebody said, very true, not kidding. Yeah, they don't want peace in Africa. You are a fool, my brother. It's unfortunate that your mother, somebody is just talking rubbish here. Why are you insulting people? So take that out. Even White Britain, who commits crime abroad, is subjected to judicial process. Then talk more of a certified, somebody is calling this guy a certified criminal. This is crazy. All right? This is crazy. So another is saying that means your Abakari and Fulani generation should be wiped off Nigeria. Should be wiped off Nigeria because those are the real enemies of Nigeria. So the problem here, well, views, comments will come from different sides. That actually forms the engagement, online engagement. But the truth here is that Kanu did not commit any crime and should be set free. And moreover, the court in Nigeria have also set him free. The government is just being stubborn. They don't want to let him go. So British government, now that they know that the court in Nigeria have set him free, are supposed to do something. Because if Kanu was to be a pure white man and the court in Nigeria had set him free, they will come the next day with private plane and they will take him back to the UK, even if, no matter what happens. So I repeat, they don't want to do this because they don't like stability in Africa and in Nigeria because of the economic benefits they have. And secondly, because we are wearing black skin, we are not wearing white skin, they don't care about us. Meanwhile, they are part of the problem of Nigeria today. So there are several comments here, but these are just a few I can put down because of time. Let's share your comment. They were now waiting for the ruling. The case had been heard in the British High Court, now waiting for the ruling to know what next to be done.